So we have a project that costs 20,000 today. So that's the cash outflow today. And it's then expect to bring in 1,500 annually for the next 16 years. So we have an annuity here, 16 cash flows of 1,500. What is this project's IRR? Because this is set up as an annuity, we will not be able to compute the IRR of this project algebraically. So we're going to have to use Excel or financial calculator. So let's start with Excel. What we need to do is we just need to draw the timeline on Excel. One column, you can just write the years starting at 0 today, going all the way to 16 in this question. And then next column, cash flows, outflows. So what you spend has to be negative. Inflows have to be positive. So at 0, we start with negative 20,000. And then starting in 1 year, we have these 1,500 inflows for the next 16 years. And then computing the IRR, so the return of this project is very straightforward on Excel. All we have to do is go to an empty cell, say equal IRR, Excel's built-in IRR function, open, and then we need to select just the cash flows, starting with the first one at 0, and go all the way down to 16. All we have to do is go to an empty cell on Excel, equal IRR, so Excel's built-in IRR function, open parentheses, and then select all the cells starting from time 0 to all the way to the end, and then press return. Now, we're going to be careful here. Excel by default rounds the number. So we have to go and tell Excel, this button under the number format where it's written percentage, we need to click on increase decimal, depending on what the question is asking. Here, let's go a couple decimal places. So 2.23%. So this project, these cash flows, amount to 2.23% annual return. Now, is this worth it? Is this a good project? The answer is depends. The answer is it depends on your required return, which is dictated by your cost of capital. So if your cost of capital was less than 2.23%, this would be a good project. That's a very low hurdle. So this is likely to be the case only for, say, somebody like the US Treasury. So the US government, they're able to borrow so cheaply, especially nowadays, historically low interest rates. So if they are able to borrow at less than 2% per year, which they are able to these days, for them this project would be a good project. But for, say, a corporation or for an individual with a significant cost of capital, that is likely to be much higher than this 2.23%, this would not be considered a good project. Let's now use our financial calculator if you want to. Excel is more than enough, but if you wanted to use your financial calculator, we go and let's clear all the work. We go and plug in cash flows. So again, we need to clear all the work when you press CF, cash flows. So clear all the work. Enter the first cash flow, CF0 is 20,000. Negative plus minus sign, enter, down arrow, cash flow 1 is 1,500, positive, enter, down arrow, 16 of these, not 1, but 16 of these, enter, and that's it. Let's just make sure, down arrow, let's make sure the next cash flow, so year 17, is 0, so there's nothing there. We cleared all the work, but yes, indeed it's 0, so we don't need to worry about it. Now, if we wanted to find the NPV of this project, we would just press NPV, and it would ask us for the discount rate, I, and then we would enter that in percent, and then compute the NPV. But here we want the IRR. We are not looking for the NPV. So we press IRR, and we tell the calculator to compute CPT, 2.23%.